The photograph is the only tangible artifact that can provide context for an event or era long gone. Many of the most iconic images ever captured speak to a turning point in society or a political upheaval brought on by human ingenuity. They portray well-known figures and events from history. Alternatively, well-known images might be veiled in enigma, offering up familiarity and intrigue but leaving more questions than answers. Hello, and welcome to our channel, Curious Media. We bring you the stories behind the 3 most famous photos in history. Number 3. The Valley of the Shadow of Death. The image is shot by British photographer Roger Fenton during the Crimean War and depicts a road littered with cannonballs. It is now considered one of the most iconic early depictions of battle. The Valley of the Shadow of Death is groundbreaking for another reason. It was perhaps the first fake photograph ever taken. The more well-known photo shows a road littered with cannonballs, whereas another shows the road to be clear and the balls to be in a ditch to the side. For a long time, people argued over whether these 2 pictures were the most accurate representation of what the Valley of Death actually looked like. Errol Morris, a documentary filmmaker, decided to investigate in 2007. He wrote a 3-part essay about his inquiry for the New York Times. Experts were consulted on both sides of the debate, and he personally examined the area of Sevastopol, Crimea, where the photos were supposedly shot. The team led by Morris eventually concluded that the second photograph, which showed the cannonballs in the road, had been taken second because 5 tiny rocks had migrated further down into the ditch between the 2 photographs. Fenton had brought the cannonballs out to the road, creating one of the earliest depictions of a battle. Number 2. Migrant Mother. Migrant Mother, a photograph taken by Dorothea Lange during the Great Depression, symbolizes the plight of working people everywhere. During the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, thousands of employees in places like Oklahoma were forced to leave their homes and were subsequently hired by the New Deal's Resettlement Administration, where Lange worked as a photographer. Photographer Dorothea Lange was drawn to a starving mother and her children while working in a migrant labor camp in Nipomo, California. She had a short conversation with the subject before snapping the shot that would appear in the San Francisco News. Florence Owens Thompson wrote to the Modesto Bee in 1978 to reveal herself as the woman in the iconic photograph. But contrary to what Lange would later write, Thompson, the daughter of 2 Cherokee Native Americans, was not a migrant worker forced to sell tires for food. She was a widow who had raised 6 kids in California and had been there since the 1920s. Their automobile had broken down and she never sold the tires, so they were forced to stay in the campground. Florence Owens eventually settled with her husband, George Thompson, the hospital administrator, in Modesto after World War II, but the family had previously lived all across California. Following her reveal to the media, Thompson said that she felt used as a poster child for an experience that wasn't her own because of the photograph by Dorothea Lange. Number 1. Raising the flag on Iwo Jima. Joe Rosenthal, a photographer during World War II, took this famous picture of American soldiers hoisting the flag atop Mount Suraibaki during the Battle of Iwo Jima. Ira Hayes, Private Harold Schultz, Sergeant Michael Strank, Franklin Sousley, Harold Keller, and Corporal Harlan Block are pictured. All the males weren't positively identified in the year 2019. The photo was taken more than a month before the conflict finished, yet it symbolizes American victory over overwhelming odds. Later in the conflict, Strank, Sousley, and Block all met their deaths. The photograph was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Photography and is now the centerpiece of the Marine Corps War Memorial in Arlington, Virginia. The memorial, constructed in 1954, commemorates the lives of every American Marine who has lost their life in service to their country since 1775. Which photograph story baffled you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you are curious about content just like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel.